American Ballet Theatre performed Don Quixote at the Kennedy Center in March 2022. As I noted in my last video on Aran Bell, I value the immediacy social media provides on what is going on in the ballet world, as dancers post videos from the wings of performances or videos from rehearsal. Daniil Simkin posted this video on Instagram from the March 31st performance with Isabella Boylston. The clip is noteworthy as it contains one of the best turn and second sequences I have seen, displaying a superior level of technique and athleticism. In my brief video, I give thoughts on two fascinating clips from the performance, which Simkin says in his post was definitely a performance to remember. The first clip shows Simkin doing grand pirouettes à la seconde, also known as turns in second position. This is an athletic step found in numerous male variations, such as the coda of Grand Pas de Deux in Swan Lake, Nutcracker, Don Quixote. It is a series of turns on one foot, with the free leg raised to second position on l'air at 90 degrees. Here is ABT's Manuel Carreño from 1998 in the Swan Lake coda with beautiful turns. Note how he is square to the front when he plies before going into the next turn. Simkin's turns in second position are remarkable, done at the end of the coda of a physically taxing 2-hour performance in front of a live audience. This is not a video from the studio, where there is no consequence of failure, in which a dancer does multiple takes and uploads the best one. Simkin does 3 single turns for momentum into 4 turns in second, repeating again, ending with 4 pirouettes into a double tour off of one leg. Impressive is not only the number of turns, but also the control he exhibits. As I noted in a profile video of Simkin that I will link at the end of this video, his approach on his turns is non-standard, not the technique that a dance instructor would approve of. Rather than plying to the front, as shown by Carreño, Simkin overturns the first turn and plies to the side on his first 2 turns, before taking off on his 4 pirouettes in second. He then does his plie more to the front on subsequent turns. This is unique, but it works for Simkin. Possibly he plies to the side to generate more momentum into his turns. Impressive is how Simkin can control the energy and momentum he generates as he does multiple turns, which is a challenge for less proficient dancers. Simkin has an uncanny ability to remain vertical rather than tilting like a faltering spinning top. He discussed these turning concepts in his master class, an interesting series for dancers wanting to know his advice on turns. I will provide a link to the series in the video description. At the end, he does 4 pirouettes in retiré, foot to the knee, with his foot at the back of his knee. I've seen some dancers do turns at the back of the knee, but it is somewhat unusual as the standard position is to the front of the knee. He then does something I have not seen him do before after his turns in second, a double tour off of one leg. Daniil generally does multiple turns to a secure lunge in 4th position, as is customary. Possibly he was so on that at the last second he decided to add the tour for additional razzle-dazzle. On the double tour off of one leg, a dancer really needs to be perfectly vertical before going into the tour off of one leg. It was one of the best performance turn series I have seen. Would like to hear your thoughts on great turn series in the comment section. One more interesting clip. Earlier in the variation, he does his trademark pirouettes with a very wide 4th position with rapid and nice turnout in retiré, with great arm wind-up and force into the turn. Again, this is something that dance teachers frown upon, but it works for Daniil. He does 4 turns with a very wide arm carriage. At the end of his 4th turn, he does a subtle change in his foot from the front of his knee to the back, as he did in his turns in second. He also changes his arm position from a classical first position to a non-standard, possibly flamenco arm position. In real time, it looks like he is reloading mid-turn, but he remains on releve throughout the turn. He ends the turn perfectly vertical and goes to a 4th position with great control when he runs out of momentum. Less proficient dancers stumble out of the turn or try to eke out another turn, resulting in an awkward ending. As my dance teacher always said, the ending of the turn is what people remember. Here, Simkin's control at the end of his turn is impeccable. His verticality throughout the turn is noteworthy, a feature that dancers strive for. The nuances on his foot and arm positions is an example of Simkin using his great athleticism and technique to do a non-standard variant of a turn to put his stamp on the variation of a light-hearted circus act ballet like Don Quixote. These variations would be out of line in more serious works such as José and Swan Lake. Simkin will perform Don Quixote with Isabella Boylston in ABT's Metropolitan Opera season, June 15th matinee and evening of June 18th, 2022. Thanks for tuning in.